the podcast. Shut the fuck up and listen. I'm your host, Barry Kuda.
And John.
And my belly is empty and my head is full of ideas. And my phone's not on Do Not Disturb. No, it is. All right, we're professional here. Starting out, most important of all, the big question that I had since the last one: what's the scariest fighting ring shape?
The scariest fighting ring shape?
Yeah, so like you have. Oh shit! Yeah, we have the square, we have the octagon. What else do we have that can be horrifying?
I don't know, maybe a triangle?
So
Just sharp edges?
yeah, I feel like triangle is a good answer. I asked someone else this, and triangle's a good answer because your back is always into a corner. You're always being backed into a corner.
Star of David.
That's the real answer. Fuck, you can say triangle or square. Square, I feel like, is a pretty traditional.
Always makes me think of boxing.
Yeah, but like also at the same time, maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a reason that they stick with the square. It's intimidating. No, the octagon's probably more intimidating than a square. I'd say the pentagon. A pentagon is the most intimidating shape after 9/11.
It's the devil.
In a post 9/11 world, the pentagon represents the devil and also Satanism.
It was probably pre 9/11 for a lot of people, I think.
No. Before,
Yeah,
the pentagon was just geometrical. Now it's no. I didn't. I wanted to have something by the time I finished that sentence, but I didn't. It's satanical.
Oh,
From
okay.
geometrical to satanical, like Jerry Sandusky.
Oh no. Oh no.
Man went from Penn State to the state pen. Man, Penn State to the state pen. Penn.
You know, there's a whole South
Penis.
Park episode about that.
He had sex with kids. Were they kids? Hold on, they were
college students.
So they're over 18, right?
Yeah, so like it was still rape, I think, right?
Well, I don't remember the details. So
I don't
very
fully
well,
remember the details either.
it very well could have been legitimate rape. But if it wasn't, what was so bad about it? Because I remember him initially hearing
It's
about
a
it. I thought it
power
was a high
dynamic.
school. Yeah, that's fair. I've been having the same question with skins. In Britain, the legal age is 16.
Yeah.
And the main teacher in skins is like almost 30, and her eggs are, they're drying up, and she's looking at these 16-year-old kids, and she's like, fuck, I really want to fuck these 16-year-old kids that are in my class that I teach. And one of them has severe mommy issues, so he's continuing to go for her. And I was like, if the legal age of consent is 16, that means she's legally not doing anything. But it still makes me feel weird.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of people online that were saying, like, no, it's fine. If I meet a 16-year-old at a bar, I should be able to fuck them. There's nothing wrong with that, and I shouldn't be called a creep for that happening. And
I don't
I'm
know
like,
about
okay,
that.
you German fuck. But that's the theory behind it. And while that might be true, if you're their teacher, that changes things.
Yeah, no.
There's now a power dynamic that you're taking advantage of.
Yeah,
so it's not
absolutely.
okay. Also, I saw a bunch of people saying that she was a pedophile a groomer, that she was explicitly grooming this character. And she is, but I don't think she's intentionally doing it. But that's nuance for the show.
Yeah,
We're not a
yeah,
Skins podcast. I could talk about that, but I don't think the audience wants that. Instead,
You know what I've heard the audience really wants?
What?
Are these bear cups at Starbucks?
Oh my God!
Have
the
you
fucking
heard
bear
about that?
cups. I've been seeing a lot about that. I've been seeing, I haven't been up
Imagine
to
catching an
date.
assault charge over a fucking glass bear cup from Starbucks.
I saw one person. I'm a big conspiracy theorist. I saw one person say that they're pretty sure that the whole Starbucks bear thing is just because somebody at corporate sent out to all the stores like a fucking mist. Like instead of doing the glass regular Starbucks cups, they end up getting the bear-shaped honey cups, and they were like, "Oh fuck, Oh shit. It's for a new promotion. It's for a new promotion we're doing. And I like that idea. I like that idea more than Starbucks being like, you know what'll really sell? Bears.
Well, from what I've
And then
read,
people going crazy for it. And then
yeah,
Starbucks
yeah.
being correct.
Supposedly, um, they just made them and didn't realize they'd be such a hit item, and they're not even sure they're going to restock them,
Uh,
according to Starbucks' official release.
they're probably not going to because that'll make them more valuable. My follow up to the scariest 2D shape to fight in was the scariest 3D shape in general, and I think it might be a bear, based on how people are reacting to these fucking cups. I'm legitimately concerned for my. I not, but if I was ever going to
Yes,
go to a Starbucks, I'd be concerned for my safety.
fight in the bear ring.
The two things, the conspiracy thing comment is the one thing I really resonated with the bear cups. The other thing is I saw some Starbucks employees talking about the situation, and there was like a horde of people, like a zombie
Yeah,
movie outside of the store as they were setting everything up, and she was putting them on the counters, and she took one to buy because the staff gets first say, and she was like, I don't care about this, but my friend really wanted one, and she knew I had the hookup, so I take it off the shelf before we open, and people start screaming at me from outside, be like, you fucking put that back, that's not yours, you saw your fucking cup. And she's like, oh my god. And so she puts it back so she doesn't get like assaulted once the door is open.
Jesus.
And here's
Would you punch somebody square in the face for a teddy bear cup?
if it was for like my kid, I might. But like that's for me as a consumer, which is what all of this is. It's
Oh
always
yeah.
fucking consumers that are like, I have to have this item, so I'm the one who has it. Which yeah, it's so easy to fall into that. I just bought pants for $200, so I wouldn't fall into that. Fusanati, that's a plug. I like his pants. He's releasing an '80s windbreaker that's probably going to be
Oh,
over
that'll be nice.
$200. For the price alone, because windbreakers are really expensive to make, and you have to get rights. You have to pay like a specific company in Japan to have rights to make a windbreaker, because they
That's
have
crazy.
patent rights and or sales rights, something weird. Either way, the first time he sold the pants, they sold out in 10 minutes. Second time they sold out in 8, and there were even less pants. So I
You're one of the rare people wearing these pants.
and I like them a lot. I don't think they were worth the $200 that I paid, unless they last like they're supposed to.
Yeah, I
They're
mean, if you become like 40 and those pants still look like that,
they're
yeah,
made on vintage looms, so they're supposed to. But who the
vintage
fuck knows?
looms.
These bear cups won't though. These bear cups, even if they
These bear
last in
cups.
physical like form, they won't last in the minds of the people that are buying them, and they're out here punching people in the face
No,
for it.
these are the holy grail of coffee cups.
What
Even
happened
though
to
they're
Labubu's?
glass and they'll be very hot.
What happened to? Well, I guess you can't put coffee in a Labubu. Can you?
I don't know. I've never tried.
Some lady made a no, not Kai Cenat Labubu. Was it Kai Cenat Labubu? KSI. It was KSI Labubu. Um, and I want to see her try to make a Starbucks Bear Cup Labubu. I want to see what she does, because the KSI Labubu is just her painting a Labubu in blackface and putting a bandana on it,
Fair.
and then saying it's KSI, which, the video, I will say, the video does not feel good. It feels less racist to see it than it did to say it right there. Only marginally, only a little bit. But I did have a moment where I said that out loud. I was like, wow, that sounds really bad. That's just blackface Labubu made to look like a gang member, even though it was a black bandana. So it wasn't like too explicit. It wasn't a red bandana. It wasn't a blue one.
That would have been hilarious.
She's just like full on making like a blackface Crip Labubu, and she's like, "It's KSI, it's famous YouTuber KSI." No, she started out with the fucking gold Labubu, 24 karat gold Labubu that just was just spray painted. like
Okay.
very shittily spray painted. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. So then she did the
Shittily
KSI,
spray painted.
where she's not spray painted. It was I think Sharpie. Just the face was Sharpie.
It's even worse.
And so that's when you're watching it, it feels like the joke is that she has this really shitty low effort Labubu, like all of them are, haha. And it's like, oh, look at this. This is a famous person, but it came off as racist, probably because it was a little bit racist.
It was a little bit, yeah.
But it was. I don't know if I would say that she hates black people. She just is tone deaf. It was some like rich European lady.
Well, I don't think all people that did blackface are racist necessarily.
See, I was trying to have this conversation with my girl, and she was saying that the N-word and blackface carry the same weight. And I definitely,
I mean,
and
far
she
be it from me to know positively.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
very
that
white.
I'm pretty sure that she meant that she's gonna think the same amount about a person if they use either of those, which
Fair.
is more fair. Although, if somebody fucks a 7-year-old and somebody fucks a 17-year-old, I'm definitely gonna be way quicker to be like, "Yo, get away from me," to the guy who fucked a 7-year-old. So, and I think that the N
I
word
can
and
see that.
blackface is applicable. Like, if somebody does blackface, I'm probably not going to hang out with them. Like, if it's explicitly to be racist, but at the same time, I'm not going to be like, "Yo, get away from me." I'm gonna be like, "All right, well, it was nice hanging out with you. It was nice seeing you again. I've got some stuff to do. Yeah, just some like errands. Just yeah, I know it's Tuesday, but I run my errands on a Tuesday.
Anywhere away from you.
But if somebody said the N word and was like, "Yeah, and I just said, get the fuck out of my face, you stupid," I would be like, yo, I need to be somewhere else right now. I'm sorry, that's
Oh, yeah.
crazy. Lose my number. I don't know how to tie that back into the Bears. The Bears. But the glass cups, it's been fun to watch. I'm glad, as somebody who's not a part of the consumerism, it's been fun to watch.
I love that we can just watch people brawl in the streets over cups.
It's the way that God truly intended. God is king. Jesus is king. And we know when we see white women fighting in the streets over Starbucks bear cups, we know that God is real and he's watching over us.
I haven't seen any videos of that yet.
Well, it's coming. It's coming. Just wait.
I really want somebody to video this shit.
Oh yeah, let's weed talk. Weed talk. Do you think that it counts? So it's always 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah,
Is it always 4:20 somewhere?
in theory.
So
If you use the same rules, yeah.
yeah. So I will say, people who say it's 5 o'clock somewhere are probably not living the healthiest lifestyles.
I would be a
And
terrible bartender.
I might.
If somebody said it's 5 o'clock somewhere, looked at the clock, and it's like 3:17, I'd be like, no, it literally is not.
Well, that somewhere ain't here, buddy. I think that would make that's a fun response. That's a good bartender response. That's not too. You don't have to be nice to be a bartender. You have to be charming. And from my experience,
I kind of
they
fall
are
more
not
on
synonymous.
the weird side, not the charming side.
That one bartender that we worked with, I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of the male ones, and he was like one of the clients. One of the patrons was like, "Yeah, I'd tip you better if you had bigger tits," and he was like, "I'd be able to get bigger tits if you tipped me better." And I like that. I like
I think
that.
I know who you're
response.
talking about.
But yeah, I think that while it's not the healthiest thing, and I'll probably get in trouble for saying that it's not the healthiest thing to smoke all day every day. Listen, we all do. Everybody in the world does it.
Smoking is just bad.
Which
it's
is-
gonna be bad. No matter
it-
what you smoke, it's gonna
So
be
you
bad.
might as well do it all day. Bow. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. It's 4:20 somewhere. Well, I think that should take. I think that should catch on. I think
It
that
should.
people should be more down to say things like it's 420 somewhere and then light up a joint next to a child and then everyone be like, "Yo, yo, you need to step over there. You need to put a birth between like us and what you're currently doing."
I mean, I would love it if you could just walk down the street and smoke. Actually, when I went to Las Vegas, you could do that. It
Well,
technically is not legal to do that, but
I think
no one cares.
I think you can do that on Broadway in Nashville.
Really?
Because I know you can do that with alcohol, where they don't. It's not
Really?
legal.
Yeah,
but
it's not
you can
legal,
just
but I don't think
fucking
anybody's gonna
walk
mess
up
with you
and
about
down.
it.
Yeah, you can just walk up and down Broadway with a beer in your hand. Nobody gives a fuck.
It's been a long time since I've been to Broadway.
And that's definitely still the case. I think that's always been the case. But now that THCA and stuff is legal, which not anymore.
Yeah, it won't be. Well, I think they have a year.
And I'm really wondering if that's gonna stick. Trump likes approval ratings, whether he needs them or not. He likes them.
And they're in the trash can right now.
Oh, dude, him making weed illegal is gonna ruin those. That's gonna be really bad. That's gonna be so bad for his approval ratings. It's gonna be probably like decent for the country for if it not if it completely stops hemp production, but if it creates more of a regulation on the industry. If people are like, hold on, don't make it illegal. We can do other things. And we start finding loopholes or we start fighting against it. And
That's where you get spice and shit from.
yeah, if we just make it fully illegal, we're just going to get spice. But if you just say, okay, well, you can't do all of this, then maybe we can get to a point where Delta 9 THC is legal, the regular old THC is legal across the U.S., and then the really good stuff that's more potent that you can't sell in stores gets sold on the streets still. So you've got your black market, you've got your white market. And
We should just get rid of the black market, though.
well, you're not going
Just
to.
fully legalize it and just be done with it.
You still have a black
because then I
market.
wouldn't have to worry about like derivatives and shit, you know?
You still have a black market unless you like fully legalize it.
Yeah,
because
I'm
you still have
fully
people that sell
legalizing it.
alcohol to children. That's still considered a black market. So you're always going to have the
Technically,
illegal
but
sale.
not the exact same black market I'm
Oh.
referring to, I guess. But yeah, technically.
But yeah, I think this is going to be an overall net negative because it's going to make it harder for me to smoke weed. That's
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't like that the president that said that it's bad to fuck kids is also saying that it's bad to smoke weed. I would think, based on his previous track record, he'd be like, yeah, it's chill, smoke all the weed you want. But no. Apparently, now that all these Christians have started talking to him, he thinks weed's bad. I don't want to drink beer.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
gross. It makes me fat. They like Dylan Mulvaney. I don't like Dylan Mulvaney. I'm not drinking beer.
Is he the main reason to not drink beer?
No, the main reason is because it makes me fat. But, transphobia, it's in right now.
I mean, there's like some good beers, but
They're all sponsored by Dylan Mulvaney.
What?
Dylan Mulvaney is the face of beer because Bud Light
All beer.
is the face of beer, and Dylan Mulvaney is the face of Bud Light, despite not being a part of their ad
Bud Light
campaigns
is
for
just
the last
slightly
3 years.
spicy water.
It's spicy.
Yeah,
I mean,
because it has alcohol in it.
I was about to
It's
say,
just-
do you mean just like spicy in like the abstract sense? Like
Not-
it has a bit of a kick to it? Because
No.
it's definitely not like it's bitter. It makes my butthole recoil in horror. Unless I put it in my butt, in which case it makes my mouth recoil in pleasure. Either way, something's recoiling.
How does your mouth recoil?
It's
Oh no!
Isn't that the face you make when you come? I don't make any noise, so I just make that face, and then I'm like,
You're just kind of like shaking a little bit.
just shake a little bit. My lips go inward, and then I just. That was I'm sorry. I feel like I should cut that noise out, but then the joke's gone.
No,
So
the
I'll
noise
have to-
stays.
I guess I just boost it then. No, but here's the thing. Weed. Here's the thing. Weed is. I was gonna try and make a rhyme that was good. Weed is need. Weed is neat. Weed is a neat thing, and we shouldn't get rid of it. No, everybody does it.
It is
Everybody
a
does.
neat
Like
thing.
at this point, everybody drinks or smokes at some point, unless they're straight edge, in which case they're probably doing good for themselves, but they're boring, and they'll be a better parent than a person.
They have next to no life stories.
Not true. They're making next to no life stories. Their life stories are like, I was showing one of my friends a Northern Lion clip where he was talking about how he went to get some anti-chafe cream because he was chafing on the bike, and
It happens.
he had a bunch of bits that weren't landing, and he went up to the guy. They only had anti-chafe cream for women. Went up to the guy at the store and was like, "Do you have any for men?" And he apparently came off as kind of instigatory, so he's looking through it and he's like, "This is like a year's supply of chafe cream." And the guy's and Northern Lion says, "Not if you're a real chafer." Doesn't land, makes it more awkward. He thinks that he's like, "Yeah, we don't have any more, but it should be fine. It's not gonna hurt you." And he's like, I wasn't concerned about it hurting me." Anyways, that's the story. Those are the stories that you get when you're doing caffeine as your only drug.
Yeah, see,
Which he also
Eh.
is very anti-weed, and he does drink wine, so he
He's
still
not
has some
straight
good
edge.
stories from those. But like his everyday stories, where he's not doing anything crazy, are like, he's good at telling them, but there's not anything exciting. They're not anything crazy. That's
yeah,
not even
that's
the big
just
point.
me.
I think there's a lot of people that don't have crazy life experiences on weed and alcohol too, just because they don't put themselves out there.
That's fair.
The main concern though is the fact that if it's American, why are you making it illegal? The guns are protected by the Constitution, and that's part of the reason why it's so hard to make them illegal and put restrictions on them. But the other part is because Americans like them. And if you say,
They like
"Hey,"
things that go boom.
and yeah, if you tell Americans they can't have their things that go boom, that people aren't going to be very happy about that.
No.
So I think that it's a similar thing. It's just weed's not protected by the Constitution. You know what? Maybe it should be.
It should be.
The guns we was it Dope and Guns Party? They need a stronger presence in the U.S. And I think that if we rewrite the Constitution, if we have another amendment to the Constitution, they need to be a big part of that. Libertarians, Dope and Guns Party, the Communists of America, everybody needs to come together if we're going to change the way that the face of America looks and get all these Mexicans out. If this is the direction that it's being
But then
taken,
who's going to grow the weed?
fuck. Oh, fuck. I didn't think about that. Then, well, Donald Trump, if you make hemp illegal, who's going to grow your weed, Donald Trump? No, I think that the presence of weed is the same as the presence of alcohol, and we saw what happened with prohibition. It did
Yeah,
not
it's
do
the same thing.
anything. It's going to have the same result, maybe a little bit differently because it's not going from fully legalized everywhere to fully illegal. But it's going to have a very like places like here in the South have THCA that's fully legal
Yep.
across the entire board, and people are just smoking it. Like I was saying at Broadway, you have people the same way that people just walk around with beverages. You just see people fucking smoking, and no, they don't get in trouble because you're not supposed to smoke there, but I'm not going to tell you can't have fun. I'm not going to try to arrest you when you're giving money to the city.
Well, and it's
And-
way too difficult to arrest everybody and then figure out who has the real weed and who has the THC
Yup.
weed.
Like that was it. Not only is it going to cause problems to try and arrest people just having a good time in the place where they're supposed to have a good time, but it also is so difficult to determine whether or not it's legal. And you could like with alcohol, you could say the same thing. There's no question
Yeah.
about whether or not you're drinking legal alcohol typically. Which, fun fact, they made it illegal to drug somebody's drink in Nashville.
No, they changed it to a felony.
Oh, so it was already illegal.
Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
a misdemeanor, but now
Cool.
it's a felony.
That's good to know. I don't know if that should always be the case, but Tennessee has a huge problem with sex trafficking. So it's
Yeah.
probably good that we take a hard stance on drugging people's drinks. But with weed and alcohol, I think that it's important. I've got this thing called the drug triangle.
The
And
drug
and
triangle.
at the center of it all is weed and alcohol, because anybody can do weed and alcohol. It's not really particularly like clicky. It doesn't have a specific side that it exists in, as opposed to the three corners of the drug triangle, which scariest shapes. Triangle.
Triangle. It comes back.
It comes back, a callback. There's the triangle. The points are all the different styles of drugs that you can be on. And so there's hippie drugs, there's party drugs, and there's junkie drugs. Junkie drugs,
Okay.
I put that on the top of the triangle because they're the most powerful and they can like absorb you the most. Um, but that's the things you typically think of: crack,
Right.
meth, heroin, the stuff that's got really high addictive potential, and really intense feelings, but usually it's very difficult to get off of.
Fair.
And then your party drugs are usually your pharmaceuticals, your Adderall, Xanax, and then your hippie drugs are things like acid, mushrooms, and in between those, with the lines that connect them, you have the rest of everything else. It's kind of a gradient that exists.
Okay.
So if you're really hippie, then you're probably going to be doing mostly acid, mushrooms, smoking weed, drinking. You might on occasion do Molly or Whippets. Whippets go towards junkie drugs. Molly goes towards party drugs. And same with cocaine. Cocaine and Molly are both with party
Okay.
drugs.
Yeah.
Party and junkie drugs are things like fucking. Oh, it's been so long since I've done it. What do you think? What would go there? What's something that party goers do and junkies do?
Um.
GHB.
There's a large overlap of pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, that's true. That is where like Xanax. But you can, for the most part, depending on the substances that you do, you can kind of put yourself into a certain classification.
Right.
Um, so back in the day, back in my party days, it was mostly acid and mushrooms with a little bit of Molly and ketamine. Ketamine, that was the party going into junkie drugs.
Yeah.
I love ketamine, but I will definitely say that you can get like junk, which that also does cross into pharmaceutical. I think abuse of
Yeah.
pharmaceuticals goes into
Oh, it definitely
like,
goes into the junkie side.
this junkie side of things. Same with morphine and things like
Yeah.
that. Really intense pharmaceuticals that don't really get used anymore.
Opana.
Fentanyl.
Yeah.
What's the old one that's not legal and that doesn't get made anymore?
Oh.
That was really popular. My dad has a story where he took. Is it? It's not. No, it's not gabapentin. What is gabapentin? Nerve pain medicine. Who do I know? Someone. No, but I know somebody who took gabapentin for fun. I think that was the same guy who smoked plastic for fun. No, my dad got one of those pills, one of these secret pills that we're finding out the name for, and took all of them at a weekend at his grandma's.
So it was Opana that they discontinued in 2017.
No, not 2017. I'm talking about the stuff they discontinued in the 80s.
Oh, the stuff that's like coming back.
Is it coming back?
So people are finding out how to make it, and then they're buying the ingredients from China.
What is it? What is it called?
Shit, I can't remember what it's called. I saw a news article about it the other day.
That's so funny. I'm happy to hear that's coming back, low key. Quaaludes! Fucking
Okay, no, it wasn't
Quaaludes.
Quaaludes, but it is it's an opioid.
My dad got a lude when he was in high school. Took the whole thing, overdosed, almost died. Went to school and was like, yo, what the fuck was in that shit you gave me? And his friend was like, did you take the whole thing? He's like, yeah, it's a pill. It's like, you were not supposed to take the whole thing, you idiot. He didn't do Quaaludes after that.
Yeah.
He didn't really fuck with the pharmaceuticals after that. But yeah, I think that drug triangle is a very good way to figure out not only what you're okay with personally, but what you're okay with societally. And weed and alcohol, you
Fair.
kind of have to be okay with. I go back and forth between putting whippets in the middle because weed is something you smoke, alcohol is something you drink, and then
But you need to inhale it.
and you need to inhale it. But at the same time, whippets feel really intense, and I don't want to encourage the idea that I don't want to say everybody smokes weed, drinks alcohol, or does whippets. That feels like a bad message to send.
Yeah, I don't think whippets is quite the same level of use as weed and alcohol.
But no, I think that that's why Oregon is the way that it is because they're like looking at the drug triangle. They're like, fuck it, we're not gonna worry about any of this. There are times you can smoke it every 420. Are there times that you can like? There's always 5 o'clock somewhere. There's always 420 somewhere. Is it always like heroin o'clock somewhere?
Yeah, what is the time that everybody looks at the clock and they're like, "Oh shit, come on guys, let's go fucking shoot up real fast."
Leave comments, and to figure out so we can figure out
We
the
want to
time,
know
the
if you
general
do heroin,
time
what
for,
time do you do it?
and not just heroin. I want to know everything. If you drop acid,
whatever it is.
like what's acid o'clock, what's heroin o'clock? Go drop your favorite drug of choice in the comments, and what time you're most likely to do it.
Definitely out yourself.
AM or PM, and make sure you also put your age
Include your
and
ASL.
sex ASL. Put your ASL, and you'll get a special gift. We'll send you a special gift. Just wait for a knock at the door. It'll be pretty aggressive. It's kind of similar to a singing telegram. I've been watching Drewski again. He's been doing his Could Have Been records, and he always has the bit where he's like, "I'm a snitch."
Oh,
Homie,
yeah.
I can't say the N word. Homie, I'm a snitch. I will snitch on you, and I like that because it's a funny bit, but two, it really does feel like as somebody who's signing rap artists, you're like, nope, don't come in here with criminal shit.
Right.
I will make your life worse. I will snitch on you. He had a run-in with Birdman for a while. So I feel like he knows about the problems when it comes to the criminal aspects of
Birdman.
hip hop. But as far as the drug triangle goes, you got to be careful. I've got a friend used to date that gave me quite a scare because she had a bunch of concussions, also abused cocaine and Xanax because she was a party girl, and then she started trying to be a hippie and started doing a bunch of acid and had
Oh, boy.
had a full on bad trip where she was like, oh yeah, I'm fucking being left here alone. So Halloween, you know that festival, right?
Yeah.
We're going there. It's my first Halloween because I didn't have enough money for the other one. My friend, my best friend, she sold her car so she could go to the first Halloween, and so she was like, "Well, I got to go to the second." We go to the
best
second
way
one.
to get to a concert.
A Flying
festival.
Lotus, right? Just sell your car, figure the rest out later. Flying Lotus, Tom Morello, String Cheese Incident. Obviously, that's
Okay.
they're the main headliners. And we get there, we set up our tent. It's kind of like if Bonnaroo didn't care about trying to make it easy to get around and was also in a forest. And we make the mistake of dosing right at the beginning of the festival.
Did you at least set up camp first?
Yeah, we set up camp, dosed, went out, and lost our way, and couldn't find our way back to camp. Eventually found our way back, and that first day was mostly uneventful. But here's the problem: 3-day festival. We were planning on tripping every single day.
Hard to
do. The first day, something happened that we weren't sure if we were going to trip again. Our friend who later has the bad trip, something happened to her. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a blood pressure issue. And
Super common when you trip and you don't
and
hydrate
so-
and eat food well.
And so we were kind of paranoid about that, but then the next day she's like, fuck it, I'm tripping. And we're like, okay, well, I guess we're all tripping. And no, the first night was I remember what happened the first night. We were approached by some dudes that snuck in alcohol into the festival, and they were talking to us, and they were like, oh yeah, we're just here to have a good time, make friends. Do you have any Jewel Pods? My friend gives a Jewel Pod to him, and it's like, here, you can have
This is what Jewel Pods were like the
a mint Jewel
thing.
Pod. Yeah. It was a mint Jewel Pod, too. The best of the best. It's like, oh, you got a mint Jewel Pod? I'll be back for you later. This girl fucks. Whispers, I'll be back for you later, and then says loudly, this girl fucks. And we don't think anything of it. Sorry, no, that was the second day. I lied. First day was uneventful.
It's always hard to like truly get the day down.
I tripped
sometimes.
every day of these 3 days. It was not. I'm not going to be able to fully keep it in track. So guy comes up to her and says all that. She thinks it's weird. We dip. We go to see String Cheese Incident, and then we go see Tom Morello. and Tom Morello was fantastic. He was
Oh,
fucking
I'm
great.
sure.
Came in from the crowd, just doing his like Rage Against the Machine thing, doing like weird, just fucking his guitar, just finger fucking his guitar.
Oh yeah, he's one of the best at finger fucking guitar.
And so we leave there to go see Flying Lotus. At this time, Flying Lotus had the Hypercube, that was a set of like reflective walls that each had a projector that would create visuals that would surround the DJ booth. And it was
That's
fucking
crazy.
It is one of the best experiences. If you ever get the chance to see Flying Lotus, it's my favorite. It's my favorite show visually that I've seen. Which I'm more musically. I care more about the sound. The sound was cool, but it wasn't played live. None of it was played live. It was a DJ set.
Oh
So
yeah.
I wanted him to be more jazzy and do weirder stuff, but he really was just mixing his songs. He did a cool thing at the end where he stepped away and it was just visuals and sound, and everybody was still cheering and clapping, and it played for another like 3 or 4 minutes of just like the end of the track that he was playing,
Okay.
which had a whole thing I'll get into in a second. So whenever we left whenever we left Tom Morello, my girlfriend at the time was very quiet, and I'd noticed this. I should have noticed it. She had taken, I think, mushrooms and acid. No, she took mushrooms the first day. She took acid this day, and she's very quiet.
How
And
much
she's
did she
coming up
take?
really hard. She only took 1 tab, but her brain was not in the best condition, and so I don't think anything of it. We have another show that we're seeing that's not Tom Morello that all the girls were really excited for, and he shows up like 20 minutes late. And they stay for one song, and it's like, okay, let's go see Flying Lotus. So we go to Flying Lotus, and I find out later on from the girls that they felt like they were walking into the pits of hell, because there was like this arch that had this oppressive red lighting as there was just this loud bass booming.
Oh damn.
And Flying Lotus is jazz music, and they thought they were in for an EDM show. And they said that one of the girls specifically was like, "Oh yeah, I just kept waiting for the drop and it never came." And I was like, "Oh no, I did this to you. I didn't explain what jazz music was because I didn't think I needed to, and then you just had a horrible time because you're just sitting there waiting for some sort of resolution to the music, and it's not happening because it's jazz." Not only that, it's a DJ set of jazz EDM. So whenever it would usually, like, the song would end and you'd get a moment to breathe, because we all went to rock shows when we were younger where you would get like a pause, like, "How's everyone doing tonight?" There's none of that. It just kept going and going and going and going with this
Oh,
oppressive
no.
lights and music and da da da. And then my girlfriend at the time is in the middle of a full-on existential crisis, like a low-key psychosis, going into psychosis
Damn.
as this is happening. And one by one, it was me, 3 girls, and then one other guy. One by one, the guy was bigger. He was, I think, the 3rd person to leave the crowd. My girlfriend was the last person to leave the crowd. My best friend was the 2nd to last. And all of them eventually leave, and I'm the only one there. And so we come back. I leave the crowd after the show, and my best friend, she was saying that she felt the part where he walked off stage and everyone was still cheering and clapping, but there was nobody there and it was just lights and sound, which was definitely Flying Lotus being like, "Yeah, everybody give it up for the sound people, the visuals. This
Right.
wouldn't be what it is if they weren't here to make the show." He was like taunting us. He's making fun of us. He's like trying to like send a message of like, "What are we doing? We're not here. We're just dancing for no reason." Which, now that I'm saying it out loud, was definitely an internal crisis that she was having about the life that she was living at the time.
Right.
Because she was coming off of Xanax too.
Oh.
And
No thanks.
and so we leave that show as she's having a crisis, and my girlfriend won't say anything. And we run into the guy, the Jewel Pod guy.
Oh no.
And he's like, "Hey." And so my best friend, she gets that interaction. And she's like, "Hi." And he's like, "What's up?" And she's like, "Nothing much." And at some point realizes that this man who said he was drinking all day is completely sober. And she's like, "We need to go," because she like feels this predatorial vibe off of
Yeah.
him. And we leave, and she's having this fucking crisis about, like, full-on crisis about the fact that she thought this was a safe place, and she thought that this was where friends were. And I'm, keep in mind, also tripping. This is
Right.
the second day of tripping. I doubled my dose, so I'm tripping almost as hard as I did the day before. And she's freaking out about how there's just as many people that are here to take advantage, and just as many dangerous people. And there's like a big fountain that's on top by the water station
Right.
that sprays water every once in a while. And it does this, and one of the water droplets lands on her head,
Oh no.
and she looks up, and she just like starts crying and runs away. And during this whole process, at one point, my girlfriend, she just fucking books it, just runs. We have to follow her. She stops talking, and we take her to the med tent because we don't know what's going on. They're like, oh, what she take? It's like acid. It's like, yeah, she needs to go to this tent. So we take her after my best friend has this crisis and is also freaking the fuck out. We take her to this tent that's got like black lights and coloring books, and it's made to be like a chill zone for people who are having a bad trip.
Right.
But there's just people on the floor screaming. Like it feels like an asylum. It feels like a mental asylum, like a badly run mental asylum.
There's like sign the book, drop them off. They'll pick them up in about 2 hours.
And we stayed there trying to see if my girlfriend would say anything. At one point, she tried to run out again, bites my lip, says "fuck me" right here in the middle of like all these people. I've got sexual trauma, so I don't want to do that, and I don't know what to say, and I'm tripping. So I'm just like, let's go back inside. And she shuts back down again because she feels like she's not being like not appealing.
Right.
And so eventually she comes down. We give her some Xanax to help calm her down and kill her trip. And remember how we got lost the first night?
Yeah.
Yeah, multiply that by another hour. Twice as long. We were lost for twice as long as we're carrying around someone that's finally not having a bad trip, but is now barred out. And keeps on trying to jerk herself in different directions. So you're like, what's happening over there? And we're like, please stop moving like this. Eventually we get back. All the while, we lost our other friend, the one who OD'd, later, not at the festival.
right.
The one who was also coming off of Xanax. And she was pissed that her friend left her, and my best friend left her while they're both supposed to be coming off Xanax. So she went and she had her own time. Was talking about how good of a time she had. And then we get back. It's like, yeah, you guys have fun. And we were like, no, we didn't. And then the last day, we didn't end up tripping.
Yeah, I can see why.
The last day, we decided to just take it easy, smoke weed, and then get the fuck out of there. And that's when we found out about the trip that my girlfriend had and how bad it was. She was able to describe everything she saw the next day, which was like, during the Tom Morello show, she had a moment where her brain told her that this is the highlight of her life, this is the peak of her life, and that nothing will ever be better than this moment. And then it ended. And it was over. And there was silence. And it was just people moving, and she just shut down.
Yep.
And then fucking Flying Lotus happened after she was disappointed by the one guy not showing up. And so, no, she like just got fucked and then went into a full psychosis mode, she also was in roller derby and had a really bad brain. She had a lot of concussions. And so I think that she was already like on the way to have that happen.
Yeah.
And then, once she fully broke down, that's when she had the hallucination of all of us, because she was homeless at this point. She got kicked out of her house, which I didn't find out as her boyfriend until like 2 weeks after it happened.
Jesus.
And she was living out of her car the whole time, just staying at the party house and staying with friends. But she had a hallucination where we all got in the car and left, and we're like, you're homeless and you're a mistake and you fucked up your life, and we're leaving you here because we don't want to put up with you anymore. And that was the point that the friend group went from being a close-knit like cult of people doing acid to a broken set of young adults that didn't know how to help each other.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
friend groups tend to turn into that.
But I will say it was a very formative experience that I feel like a lot of people at festivals aren't having anymore.
Yeah.
People at festivals suck nowadays. I've seen so many people talking about like the types of crowds that go to festivals, and Coachella is where a lot of this comes from.
Oh,
We
okay.
all know about how bad big West Coast festivals like that are. Like I think that if we're going to a non-camping festival, Lollapalooza is always going to have a better vibe than Coachella, and part of that's where it is at. The other big part is the fact that fucking Coachella is filled with people that suck, but it seems like, and it might be because the young people nowadays. It might, I don't know what it is. Maybe you can help
It's always
pontificate.
those youngins.
There's a whole new crowd of people that are a lot more focused on social media as opposed to the music that's there, and so there's like a heavier focus on lineup and making sure that you get to see the band that
It's all the
everybody.
fucking balloons, dude.
It's all about.
That's what's fucking festivals up.
Which balloons are you talking?
Oh yeah.
um, no, because that's part of it, but that's what's fucking up our people our age. It seems like the younger people and the more vain people that are coming to festivals are not only getting larger in number, but getting more oppressive. And maybe it's because they're getting money, so they get VIP now. And I
Oh
think
yeah.
a big part of this is the fact that the people currently running the largest festivals are doing a really shit job at it. We all saw what happened with Bonnaroo this year, and uh but at the same time, as somebody who's been going to festivals for the last 5, 6 years, I've watched this decline in the types of and in the attitudes of people that go there, and it feels like it could be, it's probably a lot of things, but it could be in part due to the way that the world is going and people being upset about that. It feels like people don't want to open up and be as sociable anymore. Fucking annoying, but that could be an extension of that. I think there's also the people who can afford music festivals are rich and vain. That's the
Yes.
VIP syndrome that I was talking about. I saw people complaining about prices for like a small festival in Florida, and everybody was like, "Yeah, it's like $1,600 for tickets." Yeah, for VIP RV tickets. If you want a normal ticket, it's $500.
Yeah, that's not
Just
bad considering how much you do at a festival.
And it's an arts festival too. That's if it does have the arts that I'm expecting it to, it'll actually be like Hannibal Buress said that he doesn't understand how South by Southwest makes money because of how much crazy shit is there, and like that's how a music festival should be. And that is the third point. It feels like a lot of the people that are putting on these festivals care less about the experience that you're getting out of it and more about how many tickets they can sell. It is
Oh,
becoming a
that's
raw numbers
mhm.
game.
Absolutely. It 100% is a numbers
Oh.
game.
And it's ruining the festival scene.
Oh yeah.
And people, I can't tell if this is people are that are a part of it suck, or if this is people that are a part of it are mad that it's starting to suck.
I think you have both of those groups of people. You obviously have the ones that just suck, but I think there's a lot of people that are mad the direction a lot of it is going.
Which I know I'm mad with the way that Live Nation runs festivals.
Live Nation sucks.
And it really sucks because I looked into it after Bonnaroo, and I found out that Live Nation was started by one dude who wanted more concerts in his town, and he got big, he got popular. He was a bit of a nepo baby. He had money behind him, so it's not like it was a grassroots thing.
Right.
But it was still a dude who loved music that got into this business and is now fucking everything up. And so it's not like a corporation's coming in trying to make money off of this industry. Like this is a true villain story of a man who had a love and let the money and the greed take over his love for the thing that it initially was.
I need a Disney movie about that.
Yeah, Disney movie about Live Nation, a fucking Pixar film, animated Pixar film. The first animated Pixar film to feature people on LSD. But no, it seems like it sucks because Live Nation isn't all bad. It is probably the worst in the music industry, but of having someone that's making sure that tickets can be sold to concerts is not a bad thing. I don't think Live Nation should be anywhere near a festival. Like I think that Live Nation is a necessary evil for booking large artists for concerts, But
Yeah,
that's where Live Nations should stick, is for venues, because when you give Live Nation the ability to run a festival,
it
they
sucks.
they understaff, they underprepare, and they oversell, and it creates what happened at Bonnaroo this year.
Yep,
If you
absolutely.
I've been there, and I could tell that not everything was open the way that it should be, the way that it was in 2019. The staff was not as many as there could have been, which I think was probably because there weren't as many volunteers,
Yeah.
because Live Nation sucked the soul out of Bonnaroo. And then whenever I was there, I saw where all of the camping sites were and how it flooded, and I was like, there didn't need to be this many people here. They sold it with more tickets than they ever had, I think, and the campsites were a little bit smaller because they packed everybody in as much as they could, and I definitely think there are some people that bring a negative energy into the festival before that even happens.
Oh yeah.
But if you're bringing a positive energy and then all of this is going wrong and you don't have enough people and like you're feeling this change, then how the fuck are you supposed to keep being happy to go to these festivals? Which the real prescription there is that you stop going to big festivals and start going to the smaller ones that are around you.
Yeah, because there's plenty that happen around you. You just don't know about them.
No matter where you're at, no matter
Yep.
what state you're in. But at the same time, it does suck that it feels like the big and it's been 20 years going, but it does seem like the big festival scene is starting to die off. The only large scale festival, multi-genre festival that I'm interested in going to at this point is Lollapalooza. I feel like there's not a good AAA, as you could say, camping festival that's multi-genre. And that's fine, but like maybe I don't want to go to a jazz festival and spend 3 days listening to jazz music. Maybe I don't want to go to a rock festival and spend 3 days listening
I
to rock
might
music.
lose my mind at a 3-day jazz festival.
EDM's varied enough that I can go to an EDM festival, but even then, if you go to like 2 EDM festivals a year, you're usually getting a similar experience.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of a multi-genre camping festival, is you get to live in it. And Coachella is that for people who don't care about the music experience and care more about the fact that you can post it on social media. And Bonnaroo used to be the one that was for the music, that was for the arts, but it feels
Nope, not
like
anymore.
it's becoming Coachella. And that's not the people's fault. That's Live Nation's fault. But the people aren't helping, because one of my friends went to Shaky Knees in Atlanta and had the same, which also run by Live Nation, but had the same issues with the people that were there. There's a bunch of people that were just like, yeah, this is so much fun. I can't wait to post this on my socials, and just like ignoring everybody around you instead of trying to make friends and be a part of the
That's
community.
crazy.
VIP section, I don't know, I wasn't there, so I don't know for certain, but they said that the VIP section was the barricade, that you had to be a VIP to be able to get next to barricade. And I did see some people saying that for other festivals. And for me, it was always you wait in line for 2 hours
Yeah.
to get barricade. In the VIP section are these stands that are
They have
up
their own
on
thing,
the
yeah.
stage. But from what they were saying, the VIP section is now the barricade. They don't have the stage section. It's just if
That
you want to be
sucks.
up against the stage, you have to pay over $1,000. There's
That's
no waiting
ridiculous.
to get there. And yeah, it ruins the state of the festival.
And those people that are paying that much money to be up against the barricade, I would bet most of them have not been against a barricade at a show and know what to expect. Like, you are going to get pushed into that barricade 100 times. But just be ready for it.
And you deserve to be able to find that out without paying all that money.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be a really unfortunate wake-up call to be able to learn that. And that's such a small detail, but even then, like, all of these are small details that are making the experience
Right.
worse. Do you think Hitler really had one ball?
I mean, maybe. That's what's reported, right?
Yeah, but like, come on.
Yeah, one.
And it's
probably-
such an easy thing to lie about to make everybody like be like, wow, maybe Germany does suck. Maybe if Hitler only has one testicle, I don't want to be for the guy that's only got one ball.
Do you think that was their way of like kind of calming fears after everything happened? They were
not
like,
just-
"Look, don't worry about it."
I think they were also trying to turn the German people against him. saying that he only had one ball when he
If
had a
you're
massive
a
set.
Nazi, you're supporting a guy with one ball. I hope you know.
Maybe Hitler's balls actually looked like Yakub's head. Just two giant fucking honking spheres.
You think it was like opposite of one ball? It's just like two big, massive honkers down there.
And they thought that there was only one. No, I don't think. I've been thinking about the fact
Do you
that
have like cup-sized balls?
yeah. No, but I've been thinking about how easy it would be to lie about Hitler having one testicle and the fact that, like, why do we believe that he only had one ball?
That's what we were told.
And
I can't verify it.
I'm not a Nazi, but I might be on their side on this one. I think Hitler had two balls. I actually don't. I assume Nazis defend the idea of Hitler having two balls. I don't know. They might agree.
No.
He did have one testicle.
He had two.
I love the idea of it being like, listen, I'm with the Nazis. Hitler had two balls. The Nazis being like, well, no, Ava did say that he only had one testicle. It is.
Do you think that's the real reason Ava shot herself?
Well, she didn't. Hitler shot her, didn't he?
I thought they both committed suicide. I honestly cannot recall in
Who
this very
shot
moment.
Ava Braun, Hitler's wife? Oh, she didn't get... Okay, I was about to say, it says no one shot Eva Braun. She committed suicide. I was like, well, then she shot herself, and then by cyanide poisoning. I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
She did. She couldn't pull the trigger. Do you think...
You think she was just like, I'm tired of looking at that one ball having ass piece of shit, and just like, here we go.
That's what I like to imagine. She gets pulled into the bunker and she's like, oh my God, finally, sweet release. Finally, sweet release. I'm so happy this day has come. I don't have to fuck a dude with one testicle anymore.
She's been waiting for some time.
But no, because the whole thing is that he didn't have kids because he was incontinent because he only had one testicle. Maybe. Call back to episode
he was
1.
Incontinent?
Maybe I don't think. Yeah, that's a theory. But I think it's less that he was incontinent. Maybe he was gay. Maybe he wanted big booty femboy Latinas.
Well, I mean,
this is the second time that we've been able to point towards Hitler being gay and liking femboys.
Well, I think that's a well proven fact.
I think Nick Fuentes, next interview he does, he needs to start addressing these allegations.
Yeah, no, he definitely does.
Do the neo-Nazis like femboys the same way as the original Nazis?
I would venture to say yes.
Is it less? These are the questions Tucker Carlson should have been answering, and this is why his interview was a fucking sham. Yeah. It was a softball interview. He did the same thing for Nick Fuentes that he did for Vladimir Putin. And I'm making a joke, but it's not that funny because really it is what he did. Yeah. At the end of the day, he did give Nick... I haven't listened to it, but I've seen clips from it, and I'm like, wow. So he really was like, so you get called a Nazi, but is that... Why should we be so angry about that? As a society, why is that so bad for you to be called negative things if you're just saying your beliefs? Which they said the same thing about Charlie Kirk, and I feel like there's definitely more legitimacy behind Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk felt like an autist trying to have a conversation about traditional values and why they feel better to follow than progressive values. Not like a racist person who hated black people and wanted them out of the country. I think that if Charlie Kirk saw black people start acting more white and more traditionally like European Christian, he'd be like, that's what I like.
Yeah, maybe he'd be less racist if they acted more white.
And see, that is definitely a different kind of racism from Nick Fuentes. That is a very, very different type of racism from
they're both on like
why are the Jews in the country? We just need to get them out. We just need to get them out of here. Just get them out of here. I feel like that's a pretty decent Nick Fuentes.
That's pretty close. That's pretty close, yeah.
Overall, though, pretty cute guy. I'd suck his dick.
Who, Nick Fuentes?
Mm-hmm. But I'd suck most dicks.
But, like, okay.
I won't let him give me head, though. I don't want that Nazi mouth on my cock. That's gross.
So you'd rather have Nazi cum?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can use it to clone them and then create an evil clone.
Would an evil clone of a Nazi just be a good person?
Yeah,
Would they
exactly.
would they really be the evil clone?
So Nazis, people always say the reason why Nazis
Like
get
an
away with it is because they
anti-clone?
always say that they have good beliefs. They have some good things.
No, they
What
don't.
if you took all the bad out of being a Nazi and left like the socialism part?
It's
Mamdani.
not even real. Oh no.
No, they're because the Nazis. The whole thing is that the Nazis were really good at inventing things, and they were really, really helpful towards their own country. And the thing that sucks is I don't think you can have the form of National Socialism that Nazis had without the racism. But I think you can get close. I think that
Do
the
we have to get as close
Nazis.
to racism
I
as
think
possible?
as far away from racism as possible,
Oh.
and towards the socialism part.
Well, yeah.
I think we can rehabilitate the Nazis.
I don't think so.
I think I can fix them. I can
Exposure
fix.
therapy, just
I
put him
can
in a
fix
room
Nick.
watching Seinfeld.
Just give me 10 minutes alone with Nick Fuentes. I can fix him.
I
Like I said
You know,
earlier,
you-
I'll suck his dick. I'll fucking do what it takes.
I'll change him.
I'll change the face of America by turning Nick Fuentes into a less
can fix
racist
him.
person. I'm gonna suck his dick and I'm gonna be like, I used to own slaves and my family had sex with them. You just had a black man suck your dick. And my best friend is a Cuban. Jewish and Cuban. He's like you, but good. You can be like him.
He's gonna change his name.
You can be like him.
It's like a waterboarding situation.
It's well, no, it's more like the scene from Clockwork Orange, where they force his eyes to be open, but instead,
Okay, watching the
it's
television.
it's me forcing his dick to be hard. Hassan was arrested in China.
Really?
Yeah, speaking of internet celebrities,
haven't
Hassan was
heard
out in
this.
China, and it's so funny. It's so funny, right? Because I think that socialism is good, but I think that communism is bad. That's my cold take of the episode. And because of that, I'm not a big fan of China. I think that China's regime, oops, we're not going to get any play in China. I think that Taiwan is a country. I think that
Yes.
China could have a lot of improvements and could be a lot better. Taiwan is a country, be a lot better. Tiananmen Square. And that's coincidentally where he was, I think.
Really?
No, I can't remember. He was at some big event, though.
Okay.
It was
What did
some
he get arrested for?
One of his people that he was there with showed a picture of his face edited on Xi Jinping
Oh no.
and showed it to the camera to be like, hell yeah, that's hard. That's a hard image. And the Chinese police were watching his stream and were like, "What's that phone background? What's up with that?"
Oh my god.
And they got fully arrested and taken in and questioned about it, which it's funny because it really was like, oh yeah, you're fucking making fun of our great leader. It's like, no, I want to be him. It's like, yeah, you want to fucking be our great leader? It's like, yes, I would love to be like Xi Jinping. Please let me be like Xi. Like, it's a next level of Chinese glazing that had to have taken place for him to get out of that jail by the next day.
Yeah.
Although he is very consistently pro-Chinese, so it's not like they didn't
Do you
believe
think
him.
he sucked the Chinese president's dick?
I think there's a chance.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. He's on a lot of hair growth medication
that
that
make you extra
lowers
horny?
his libido. No, it makes
Oh.
you the opposite of extra horny. It makes you less horny. So I think there's
to
an
have
argument.
hair, you can you have to lose your libido.
I will say it's not confirmed, but there are allegations of him taking a specific finasteride. That's what it is. Taking finasteride, which is a hair growth supplement that works really fucking well, and it makes you not want to fuck. Which, with the way he acts sometimes, could definitely allegedly go in line with what
Allegedly.
he's doing. But yeah, the Chinese government could definitely Because if he's not going to get horny, if he's not going to be aroused,
He doesn't have to be horny to suck off the Chinese,
he's going to view sex as a practicality, as something
Yeah.
that needs to be done for practical measures. And this is one of the most practical measures to suck a dick is to get out of jail. That's like, if you're gonna suck a dick,
That's ancient shit right there.
yup, that's fucking like prostitution, right? That's the oldest job, and it's not exactly prostitution. It's saving yourself.
In a
It's not
way.
as it's better than be. Listen, it's always better to suck your dick to get out of jail than be a hooker. Don't be a hooker. That's like gay.
If someone wants to be a hooker,
That's gay and
they-
effeminate to be
they
a
can
hooker.
if they want.
Don't be a hooker. Just suck dick to get out of jail.
I'm pro hooker.
Listen, it's bad to be a prostitute. It's immoral. Just rob a bank and suck dick to get out of jail time instead. Loopholes. That's all it's.
How many
But
dicks
yeah.
would you have to suck to get out of jail for robbing a bank?
7.
Oh,
One for each of the cop that arrested you.
it's only 7 cops.
Yeah. That's how you get crowd. You get a gun, 7 guns drawn on you, and then you're like, oh no, and start grabbing their penises. But no,
You don't
I
think they'd
think
shoot you in the face if you grab their penis?
the most important no, because you're grabbing their penis. That's a good thing. I think the most important thing that you can learn from today's episode is if you ever get arrested, don't be afraid to suck some dick.
Suck lots of dick to get out of
Suck
jail.
lots of dick. And that's been the podcast. Thank you all for listening. This, I think, was the worst one yet, but that means it's only up from here. The flow was bad, but the conversation was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. We are your friends. This is a parasocial relationship. You guys have a great day.